The first version would deliver £30,000 in profit.
Yep.
£10,000 more profit, not revenue, profit. And don't try and always be the cheapest necessarily.
No.
I'd rather be more expensive and more profitable. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
50% increase in profit through a 10% increase in average order value, which is phenomenal.
That's a massive. That's a big increase.
150% increase in profit.
Wow.
As I said earlier, is if you can increase the average order value by 10%, you increase your profit by 50%.
That's enormous.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Welcome to this episode of Inside Digital. Really exciting, interesting one actually, and the maths on this is absolutely crazy. So today we are talking about profit and specifically about average order value in e-commerce. And I just did some maths on this and I was properly swearing. This is nuts. So we're just going to work through the maths very quickly because I think that's really important and really astounding how important this is. And then we're going to share some of the tips we have from the work we've been doing recently with our e-commerce partners and people like Tom on the team here have been doing and achieving some phenomenal results. So we're going to share some inside secrets there. We should probably charge you for, but we're not going to. So thanks for watching. So let me just talk about the maths and trying to kind of make this, it is fairly complicated with the maths, but trying to keep this pretty simple. So in the example of an average order value of £30, and let's say that our cost of goods are about 2/3, we're making about a third margin. So our cost of goods are about £20. And hypothetically, let's say our cost of advertising is £8. Okay. Now, obviously every e-commerce store is different, but let's go with £30 revenue, £20 cost of product and £8 of advertising. So if we take the 20 and the 8 and we deduct it from 30, we get £2. So that's our profit on the sale, which is not much. Can't feed many mouths with that, but we do make £2 profit, better than nothing. So if we were able to just increase the average order value by 10%, which I think there's things you could do fairly easily to improve it by 10%, that would take our revenue to 33. However, through some of the methods we'll be talking about where you're selling more product or an additional product or something like that, obviously your cost of goods sold also go up. So our average order value increases by 10%, £33, and therefore the cost of goods sold also increased by 10%. We're now talking about cost of goods sold of £22, but our cost of advertising is still £8. So if we take the £22 cost of goods and the £8, 30, and we deduct that from 33, we now make £3 profit instead of 2, which is an enormous 50% increase in profit. I mean, that's amazing.
It's huge, isn't it?
10%.
It's everyone's dream, isn't it, to almost double their profit?
Yeah. So yes, we're always talking about revenue, we're always talking about growth, but the profit it's got to be the most important thing.
It has to be.
There's no point in doing $1 million turnover and making, 50K in profit when you might be able to get 200K profit from a $500,000 turnover.
Yeah.
Why would you work that hard? Why would you put yourself through that risk, right? So, but a 50% increase in profit through a 10% increase in average order value, which is phenomenal. And just very quickly, if you can get it to 20%, the numbers are more like this. £36 minus 24 minus 8 gives you £4 profit, which doubles your profit. Now, if you are generating 100K through your website every month in revenue, and let's say you are currently making 20% profit off the back of that, then the first version would deliver £30,000 in profit.
Yep.
£10,000 more profit, not revenue, profit. And the second option, that 20% increase in average order value, would take you from 20K to 40K profit. The revenue would obviously increase as well, which is important, but average order value is such an important lever to pull.
Yeah, it's enormous, and it's almost forgotten about, isn't it, some these days as well? It's not forgotten about, but people don't look at it as the kind of metric to go to. They look at other things like conversion rate, obviously, which is important, but AOV is up there with the big boys in a way. It's what needs to be looked at enough and isn't really. A lot of e-com stores, a lot of Shopify stores, any stores around there, you're not seeing enough of what we're going to tell you now.
Yeah.
that just helps to drive AOV up. It's really impressive.
So we talk a lot about conversion rate, and that's mixed in with this.
Yes.
And they kind of overlap a little bit. The other number we have to talk about is ROAS, or ACOS, if you want to talk about that. But with ROAS, also if you can increase the average order value, that's going to impact your return on ad spend. But if you increase your product price, spoiler alert, but if you increase your product price, then you could impact the conversion rate.
Yes.
And I've got some maths on that I'll share with you in a bit, and that gets slightly more complicated. But you kind of get a positive, you get a gain on one, and you might get a negative and a loss on the other, but the net result is more profit.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it?
Which is, again, not kind of logical when you think about it. You think, well, if I drive more money, if I drive more revenue, if I get more traffic, I get more sales, then I'll make more money.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a way where you can actually drive the same amount of traffic and get a lower conversion rate, but make more profit. Yes, really. It's completely counterintuitive, but the maths doesn't lie.
Yeah, it doesn't it? It's what you say at the beginning. It's like you're swearing a lot because like it's a wow moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
Yeah.
So let's go with the first one. So you've been working a lot on our e-commerce partners and looking at conversion rate optimization, of course, but average order value. So just take us through the first one or two.
So our challenge was obviously to increase the AOV, increase just the conversion rate of a landing page or a product page, that we were tasked to look at really. And we've got the e-commerce full of, or the store we're looking at is full of different products, but we chose this one specific product that we knew was selling well. And we wanted to increase sales in that because who wouldn't, right? If it's selling well and you can sell more, then you should do. One of the first things we looked at was how the page was laid out really. This is the key thing because obviously as soon as your page loads on a website or loads on your phone or on your desktop, how are you going to use it? What are you going to see on that page? What is available to you to go to make the journey as easy as possible to buy that product straight away? The first thing we looked at was pretty much layout and how we could pretty much cram as much possible good information into a small space as much as possible. So obviously, probably not obviously actually, but you should always be optimizing for mobile first these days because everyone's on their mobile, especially for shopping. People are shopping on their mobile, on an iPad or on tablets. So you should put shopping, optimize your website for mobile first at least. So obviously there you have way less real estate on your screen. So you're going to have to try and get as much information as possible before the fold. And I say that before anyone needs to scroll. You know what I mean?
So what you can see on the screen before scrolling, doing anything. So literally that split second we go, this looks like the right thing.
Yep.
And I've got all the options ahead of me, and if I want more information, I can scroll.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing, just talking about mobile first and everyone using mobile, I think most e-commerce stores that we would work with are upwards of 80% of traffic is mobile. So, it's desktop is like now. Desktop is now like, okay. Oh, and there's desktop.
Yeah,
but it's like, and it's so easy, like for us looking, because we sit at desktop all day, to get stuck in that, I've got this landscape thing, when most of your customers are not seeing that. That's not how your customers interact with your store. It is mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's critical. But you did some specific things around upsells. So we did some stuff around, well, here's this product, but you could buy two of them for a slightly cheaper price. And obviously then promoting the saving. And we managed to get that above the fold so that people could add, I buy two.
Yeah, exactly.
Which obviously not everyone does that. That would be amazing. Like that would probably increase our average order value by 80%, which like according to this is like you've got more money than Elon Musk. How amazing.
Yeah,
but not everyone does it. But if you essentially have that second product or the duplicate, so you're kind of going, well, you're buying 12 packs of cat food. If you buy 24, then you get 10% discount.
Yeah.
So let's say your average order value, I don't know what cat food is, but let me just use the £30 example. If you're paying £30 for 12 things, and we can say, well, look, if you spend £55 or £52 or whatever it is, but you get 24, then 10% of people would do that. let's say, in principle. So through that, we're increasing the average order value. 90% of people will still buy the single pack, and that's fine. But 10% of people would buy the additional, and that's where we get the increase.
Yeah, and you give them the option
value.
as well. This is one of the things we added was displaying that option, literally above the fold and right there in their face. So they've gone to the product they want. They can see the price of it, but then right there is there's an option to, and it says the price of the new one, how much you save, big saving thing. And they can click onto that to then go to the next product, which they may have never seen. They may have never looked at in the first place. So this is obviously increasing sales and everything like that as well, isn't it? So AOV. So it's all about displaying, because that is maybe on the website, but if it's right down the bottom of your website or landing page, they're going to miss it. That could be a missed sale. So
we've got the first part of the page, which is you've landed here, searching Google, clicking on a Google shopping ad, you've clicked on a Meta ad thinking this looks good, you've landed on this page, organic, wherever you've come from, you've landed on this page. The first job is, this is relevant, this is where you should be, this is interesting to me, and that's why you're here. And you're reinforcing what they thought they were going to get. The next part is, this is such a wonderful product, this is beautiful, meaty cat food that's perfect for your cat, and it's hypoallergenic, and you've got all this sales proposition, which is really, really important for conversion rate, right? So we've sold the product. I want to buy this product. I can't be without this product. Like your copy is so compelling, and the images are so great, and the testimonials prove that it's amazing. So we've got an amazing conversion rate. I'm sold. I want to buy the product. And now we're going, oh, but you could buy two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you think about buying two?
Actually, madam, would you like two of these? It's cheaper. And then you won't have to come back again.
Yeah.
So instead of coming back in 3 weeks or a week to buy some more cat food, well, you could buy more and save some money and save yourself the hassle. Does that sound like a deal? So we got that above the fold with that option, and then pushed hard on the savings, and that's increased the average order value.
Exactly. Yeah. So
amazing.
At the end of the day, we're going to talk about small tweaks, and that really is one. You can already have it on your landing page. Just move it up. So what you got to do. Sometimes it's a case of just showing it front and center, and you're giving people the option.
And giving a compelling reason why. And framing that correctly.
Yes.
So we're leaking a bit into conversion rate optimization here, but save 10% doesn't necessarily work as well as save £4.63.
No. That's
or whatever the number is. So if you put an actual number, that can often have a better conversion rate, and also then mean they buy two rather than one, which would increase your average order value as well. So I would A/B test that and confirm what works for your product and your audience. Because we can't just say blanket, yes, that works. Because if you go, oh, it's 10% cheaper, it's 15 pence. 15, it's not going to. There's no emotional response to 15 pence, whereas there might be to 10%. However, save 10% on this car. Well, it's £35,000. Save 10% is limp compared to save £3,500.
Yeah, it's massive.
Whoa, save $3,500. Ooh, that's interesting.
That's a big number.
You see how the framing of that is so different. So you've got to test it with your products, the price of what you're doing.
We've got many podcasts about A/B testing, haven't we? So definitely look at those or watch those, because they're really handy. A/B testing is massive, as we always talk about. But it really helps.
Okay, so something else we've been doing. So we've run this recently on 2 partner sites. One went really well, and the other one looks like it's been a complete disaster. And this is why you test. So there's two parts to this, which again overlap. So one is, and this is the most contentious issue in e-commerce, and that is around delivery. And customers hate it. They don't want to pay for delivery. I think there was a study recently where it was like 70+% of people in a survey literally just said, really? I hate paying for delivery. I don't want to pay for delivery. Yeah, that's fair. Now, I and and everyone else knows it's completely irrational. Someone's got to pay the delivery driver to ship the damn thing. Yep. It costs money, but customers hate it. It's really divisive. Yeah. Now, the challenge again, looking at what I said earlier, if you can increase the average order value by 10%, it increases your profit by 50%. So what we did recently on 2 different stores, very different products, very different, not very different audiences, but different product, different kind of use case. And for one of them, we established that actually our threshold for free delivery was quite a lot lower than competitors,
Okay.
which was a USP, and therefore it would increase our conversion rate, which is on paper, it's good. However, by the time we'd paid for the advertising and paid for the products, what we found was that actually the margins were so skinny that it was causing us a problem. So we increased the threshold for delivery in an effort to increase the average order value.
Cool.
And then what we also did, we found that our delivery charge was much cheaper than everybody else. So we thought, well, actually, if people are shopping around, which they inevitably do, then in principle, even if we increase our delivery threshold, but still lower than everybody else, and we increase our delivery charge, but we're still lower than everybody else, then if you're going to site A and we're still cheaper, site B we're still cheaper, site C we're still cheaper, we are still cheaper. We're just not as much cheaper as we were. So we increased the threshold and we increased the delivery charge a little bit, not loads. I think it was like 49p or something, or 50p or something.
In a way,
Like, it wasn't huge. And actually what we found was the conversion rate was not really impacted at all, which is yay. And the average order value went up, I think about 3%. Currently, it's still kind of testing and proving that, but the average order went up by about 3%. So kind of mission accomplished, really. That worked really well. The other site we did it on, which was a complete disaster, and we did the same thing. We found that our delivery charge was stupidly cheap, like 99p.
That's
was
low,
our delivery.
Even to the bystander, that's quite a low delivery charge.
It's like, it's so trivial, it's nothing.
Yeah.
And you can get into the whole psychology of 99p or a pound and all that, but it doesn't matter, it's cheap, right? And then also, we only had a threshold of £15. And to be fair, like, we make a load of margin on the product that's being sold there. So you can afford then to pay Google or Facebook or whatever, Meta ads, a lot of money for the conversion because you've got a lot of margin to play with. But again, struggling to actually make it profitable because the cost of advertising, the cost per click has gone up so high. So again, we did some analysis and we found out that our delivery charge was like £2 cheaper than everybody else's. So everyone else is like £3 or £3.50, and we're charging 99p.
Wow.
And then also the threshold of £15, every other credible competitor, apart from Amazon Prime, but every other credible competitor was, again, like £30. So we decided to test the same thing. So we increased the threshold, I think, to £25. To try and push the average order value up, and then we increased the delivery charge, I think, to £2.49.
Yeah, makes
sense. So our threshold's still lower, our delivery charge is much lower. What actually happened was the conversion rate, the average order value, success, yay, went up about 10%. Amazing. Our conversion rate dropped by about 30%.
Not good. Yeah.
So the challenge that we have, and obviously we're reverting this and going back to the drawing board and trying to understand, okay, so what can we do? Yeah. Can we eke it up a little bit? Like, what else can we do? And we talk about some other stuff in a moment about average order value as well. So we're going to revert that. But what we've established, what we believe has happened is, so historically we were getting all the cheap orders. Like we sell like a pack of product, we sell a double pack, we sell an 8-pack. Yep. It's a consumable product. I can't share with you what it is because we're banned by NDA, so that's annoying, but that's why I'm being kind of a bit coy about what it is. But it's a consumable product. It's something that you have probably bought in your life, or, I would say probably 30% of the people on the planet have bought this product. Definitely. So, it's kind of a FMCG, it would fit into that, and it's a consumable product. So it makes sense to buy an 8-pack or a 16-pack. The problem that we have, and this is with the average order value, we then say, okay, well, here's a single pack, you could buy a double pack, so we're already doing that stuff, and some people take that. Yep. The problem is that when you are buying a product for £9 and the delivery is 99p, you kind of go, well, it's £10, that's fine, it's £10, I don't care. Like, it's so trivial, it doesn't matter. But when you're then, as an e-commerce store, saying, oh, well, our delivery threshold's £25. I'm paying £9 for the product. It's 99p. I may as well just buy the one thing. Yeah. I'm not now going to buy 4 packs of this product to save 99p on delivery. No, it doesn't. The economics don't stack up. Yeah. So there's not enough pain to motivate someone to go towards the £25, and they're also a long way away from it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the problem with, firstly, the 99p delivery is it doesn't motivate anybody to spend more money to get to the threshold. So even if the threshold is £15, which it was before, there isn't enough motivation to double your order to save 99p.
No.
It doesn't work.
No.
So which is why we then tested that. And I think maybe having done that test, we probably should have tested one and seen the impact. So maybe put the delivery charge up to £1.99 instead of 99p. And then, so now it's framed differently, right? So if you're now spending £9 on a pack of the consumable product, it's now costing you £10.99, including delivery. Well, the delivery threshold is 15, but if you bought the double pack, which let's say it's £16, you're now over the threshold. So now how it feels is, instead of spending £10.99, £11, let's say, if I spend £14, I get double. So, well, hang on a minute. Sorry, if I spend £16, I get double. So I'm going for 11 to 16. So now how it feels is I'm paying £5 for an extra pack of the product that costs £9. £5 for something that's £9 of value. Oh, that sounds good.
That's a bit,
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But if I go back to the 99p example, well, now you're going to have to spend £16, which is £6 more to get to not hit the threshold, and you're still going to pay £1.99 delivery. Yeah. So it doesn't quite stack up mentally. I don't think the kind of emotional reaction that a user would have to that, a customer would have to that, is like, there's not enough motivation, there's not enough pain, there's not enough carrot to pull me towards the higher value, and it's not a big enough stick to beat me to get me there either. So it just doesn't work. And so the conversion rate dropped quite dramatically with that change. So we'll go back to the drawing board, and maybe we'll do another show on that one. But certainly because of the profitability, I think the delivery charges, delivery threshold is so divisive. Like if you, even if I think you have to test it with every site and see where your sweet spot is. You have to know, what are your competitors doing, what are your customers' other choices, and don't try and always be the cheapest necessarily.
No.
I'd rather be more expensive and more profitable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it almost makes your product looks more luxurious, or a better product in a way, isn't it? Because you are charging more.
It depends what you're talking about. If you're a D2C brand, then your product is being compared to a different product that achieves the same thing.
Yeah.
So I want to buy that jumper, or I want to buy that jumper. They're not the same jumper. But then you've also got like a lot of the stores that we work with, where they're reselling exactly the same product.
Yeah.
Like it's literally, I can buy that here, or I can buy it there, or I can buy it there.
Yep.
Is it in stock? What's the delivery? What's the price? And then that's a different issue than it is for a D2C brand. Yeah. Because, well, if you want that jumper, you can only buy it on that website. So you're not necessarily, the stick and carrot thing isn't as obvious.
No,
because it's like, oh, the delivery's cheaper there. Yeah, but it's a different product.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Well, you have to pay the delivery then. Yeah. So it's less impactful, I think, if you're D2C. If you've got a really nice product that's really desirable and you sell it really well and it's got a ton of reviews, then the impact of the delivery choice that you make as an e-commerce store owner is less impactful. Yeah. I think when you resell someone else's product, like a commodity product, like this example is that I was just talking about, then you can buy a very similar product that does exactly the same thing from like 10 other websites easily, and you can find them really easily. So it is price comparison and a bit of product comparison. Yeah, when you are reselling someone else's branded product, so if you sell Heinz tomato soup, well, it's Heinz tomato soup. Yeah. Like whether you buy it from Amazon or Tesco or Sainsbury's or Asda or Waitrose, it's the same can of soup. It's the same tin, it's the same manufacturer, it's the same recipe, it's the same flavour. It might cost more or less, and that could impact your buying decision.
That's it, isn't it?
But yeah, I would encourage you to run the numbers, do some analysis, and A/B test very carefully.
Yeah, this is the reason why we test, isn't it?
Or not necessarily A/B test. That can be challenging with delivery, but test it.
Yeah,
change it and measure it for a few weeks and see what happens. But the reason to do it, as I said earlier, is if you can increase the average order value by 10%, you increase your profit by 50%.
That's enormous.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, what else you got?
What else we've got for AOV? What we talked about? Delivery. We talked about sort of. We're talking about incentives or.
I really like, and don't be shy about doing this. Like, Amazon have tested the crap out of all of this stuff forever with a ton of traffic, right? You won't go far wrong by looking at how Amazon does things and being inspired by what they do.
That's it, yeah.
Okay,
so
the people also bought.
Yes.
Right, people also bought. You're buying this goes with it. There's a reason Amazon does that, and they push that.
Yeah.
Right, because it increases the average order value, and therefore the profit goes up significantly. So that kind of people also bought or bundling things together. So so you did the thing where you kind of go, well, you're buying this thing, but you could buy a double pack and it's cheaper.
Yep.
And then we encourage them. That might not be relevant for some products because you're going, well, hang on, I'm buying a disposable razor. Oh, buy two. A reusable razor. Oh, why don't you buy two? What, so I can shave both sides of my face at once? Yeah. Why would I do that? Razor, why would I, you're about to buy a brand new Mercedes. Why don't you buy two? Yeah. Why? Do you know, sometimes buying two doesn't work.
Make sense. Yeah.
However, you can do if you buy this and this goes with it, then it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So the reusable razor thing, you could pair it with some shaving cream or shaving foam or moisturizer or a stand that the thing sits on.
Yeah.
Or a pack of blades to put in the damn thing.
These would be things that they were going to look for, they didn't know they need to look for. Exactly.
This goes with it. You're already spending £15. You can add this for £4.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would be really handy. So you buy it. Right? Or if you buy this, and this, it's £26. I want to get the razor and I get this and I get, a year's supply of razor blades and I've got, 4 packs of, shaving foam and I've got this. I've got a year's supply of my shaving stuff at £26. I haven't got to think about it ever again. Oh, yeah. That sounds like an amazing deal. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So the people also buy all the bundling those things together on that product page.
Yeah.
So here is the product, but here is the upsell with the bundle of the things. Yeah, and then you could A/B test the bundle. Well. Sorry? You could A/B test the bundle, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that's another product in itself in a way, isn't it? So literally, it's a whole other. Yeah. It's the same.
So the upsell and cross sell, I think, is a huge way of increasing the average order value. That could be significant. And then the other one. So I have kind of conflict on this one. And that is about having in the checkout.
Right.
So you've chosen the product, you've landed on the page, you go, I can't resist this product, I must have it, right? And you've added it to your cart, and then you go into the cart, and then there's a thing that says, oh, you can add this product as well, right? And then that would increase your average order value. So like the razors idea is then to say, okay, well, you're in the shopping cart, you can see you've got a razor in there, but you haven't got razor blades. Why don't you add razor blades and these, and then you do it in the cart?
Yeah.
Okay, so that can be successful, and it is proven to be successful as well. However, there's a client that we have worked with for a long time, and he is vehemently defensive about that. And the reason he is a principle of shut up and take my money, right? So the principle is by putting a distraction in the shopping cart, like in the cart, when someone is about to give you their card details, adds a layer of a distraction and an opportunity for them to go back off wandering around the website, okay? And then get distracted and then not complete their purchase. So arguably a percentage of people will drop out of the checkout and you lose the sale. So arguably your conversion rate will go down.
Sure.
By the way, I haven't got any maths on this. It's super complicated. But so your conversion rate drops because you put that offer in there. However, some people take the offer and do add the extra things to their cart, and therefore your average order value goes up. So the maths of it is, if you can increase the average order value by a greater proportion than you lose on your conversion rate because of the distraction factor, you will get fewer sales, your conversion rate will be worse, but your average order value will be higher, and guess what? Your profit will be higher from fewer sales.
That's a big win.
Which is,
win, isn't it?
I mean, that's again, counterintuitive.
Yes, yeah, it is.
You can process fewer orders, get a worse conversion rate at a higher average order value, and make more profit with less turnover.
Really good. Why would you? Not why would you not do that? But it's a way of another way of looking at it, isn't it? And definitely another place to add more products, upsell products as well, which is not what people think about.
So that's really cool. So I wanted to share this other bit of maths with you. So I was kind of verbalizing this and then had to write it down just to work out the exact numbers. So I'm going to read it from the sheet for you. So going back to the same example I used before. So £30 average order value, £20 cost of goods, £8 paid to advertising, £2 profit. Okay, so let's say you are processing 100 orders a month for that product range. That gives you a revenue of £3,000 and a profit of £200, which is not much. However, it is a profit. Now, if we increase the price of the product, okay, which would increase the average order value, of course. But if we increase the price of the product, the sale price, to £35, which is quite a big leap, but you'll see the maths in a moment, the cost of the product is still 20. That didn't change. We just increased our sell price. But the impact of that change is that our conversion rate probably gets worse.
Right.
Which means our cost of advertising increases. It needs more clicks to generate the conversion at the same cost per click. Therefore, the cost per conversion goes up. So we increased the product price by £30 to £35, and the cost of advertising to get a sale now, because the conversion rate drop, changes from £8 to £10. Okay, so we're now paying Google or Meta more money,
cool,
which we hate.
Yeah.
However,
more advertising, but
However, it's actually fine. So what happens is, we now £35 revenue, we got £20 cost, and we got for the products, and then we've got a £10 cost to Google. So our total cost of sale and cost of goods is now £30 deducted from the 30. So we're now making £5. We make £5 now instead of £2.
Not bad.
So we are spending more per conversion at a worse conversion rate, but we now make £5 instead of £2.
That's a massive. That's a big increase.
150% increase in profit.
Wow.
Profit,
yeah.
150%.
Profit as well.
So actually what that means, boys and girls, is if you are turning over £100,000 currently with Model A, that is going to give you £250,000 of profit instead of 100k. Sorry, if you are generating $1 million, and it was 100k, that's going to give you 250k in profit instead of 100.
What a jump! That's huge, isn't it?
I mean, yes, please. Why would you? Why would you not do that? Now, that actually does impact things slightly, of course. So now, because our conversion rate dropped, we get fewer conversions, but we do have a higher average order value. Mm-hmm. And our profit is higher on those orders, but we've got fewer of them. Mm-hmm. So actually, Model A, £30, 100 orders, we get £3,000 and we make 200. Model B is we charge £35, our conversion rate goes down. We end up with something like 75 orders instead of 100. So our revenue is only 26.25 instead of 3,000. So our revenue's dropped. Right. Oh my God, call the police, phone your bank manager, our revenue's dropped. Except we made £500 profit instead of 200.
Yeah.
So our revenue has actually dropped by about 13% or something. Our revenue has dropped by 13%, but our profitability, our profit, increased by 150.
Yeah, which is the main thing.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So we're still spending the same amount on ads. We are spending less on the product because we're selling less, but we are charging more for it, which increases our average order value, but most importantly, it increases profit. So sit down with a spreadsheet and work out the numbers, but honestly, it's
you're gonna find the same thing.
Revolutionary. It is such a massive catalyst. And then you get into the next stage of thinking, which is, well, hang on, if I'm now making £5 on an order, well, what if I increase my bid on Google Ads or Meta Ads by 10%? So instead of it now costing me £10, say £1 a click, 10% conversion rate, whatever you like. But if I'm happy to pay 10% more per click, then my cost of advertising is now £11 instead of 10. But when your ads are showing in higher position on Google, you get a higher click-through rate and you spend more money, right? Assuming your budget is high enough.
Yeah.
So actually what happens if you increase the bid by 10%, you probably get about 20% more clicks and therefore 20% more sales. So how that looks is £35 minus £20 cost of goods, minus £11, we make £4 profit, which is still double the £2 we had earlier, except we're now going to have 90 sales instead of 75 and a revenue of 31.50. But here's the weird thing, we only make £300 profit.
Oh, interesting.
So we've increased our £200 to 300.
Yeah.
Our revenue is increased from 3,000 to 3,150, but we are actually processing 10 fewer orders. So versus kind of option B, this is option C, pay more in advertising, get more traffic and scale it up. The profit is better than it was with the first version, but worse than the second option, which is focused very much on profitability. But with this one, we've now got 90 new customers every month coming. So customer acquisition is stronger. As long as you then have a backup method to go, okay, you're a customer now, how do I get more money? So yeah, we've got 90 new people added to our email list and 90 opportunities to get repeat orders for consumable products. So if you are focused on customer acquisition and where the profitability is with a lot of stores is e-commerce and leveraging that customer, then that's still a very good model. It's still better than option A. It still acquires more customers and we make more profit as well. So that's the thinking.
Really interesting,
yeah.
Insights there.
Cool.
Perfect, I think, well, obviously we've gone through a lot here and really interesting insights to help increase AOV as much as possible for all e-com stores and other places as well, because as we say, it's very, very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's
well, it comes back to something we talk about all the time, which is you have to focus on the value, not just the cost. You can't just run an ad campaign. You've got to look at the metrics behind it that make the ad campaign profitable or not. Yeah. And that is conversion rate, average order value. Yeah. Super, super important. So I hope that's been really useful for you.
Valuable, even.
Yeah, I'd love to hear, we'd love to hear from you in the comments wherever you're watching this, or you can find us at tillison.co.uk. Just tell us what you did, if it was amazing or if it failed. We'd love to hear how you got on. But that's a wrap.
Thank you.